Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome to a What About Wednesday on Is It Fun Gaming. I am your host, Byron Scott. This is the 20th video that I have shot this morning because I am long-winded apparently, and I'm trying not to talk y'all to death. But this is What About Wednesday. This is It Fun Gaming. I just said that. I'm running it back like a remix. But no. I am going to talk about E3 2019. Oh my God, I'm going to try to get this done quickly because I keep saying the same stuff and I don't want it to be too long. I want you guys to get a little information. I want to talk about all the stuff that we saw. It's been about a week since E3 2019 was over. We're going to talk about all the games that we saw. I know that a lot of YouTubers, I know that there's been a lot of information out. I know a lot of the gaming sites have already said, oh, here's what you missed, this, that, the third. There's been a lot of hot takes. The game of the conference, which I personally thought was E3, was Cyberpunk 2077, has already got some controversy for all the goodwill that Keanu and the breathtaking, and you're breathtaking, and we're all breathtaking, and you're so wonderful and breathtaking. I'm breathtaking. You need to brush your teeth. But no, that was such a wonderful moment, and already there's controversy, and that's why I wanted to just sort of marinate on this. Part of it is procrastination. I'm going to be honest, part of it is procrastination. I'm going to get this video up, got other stuff to do. I had to put the puzzle together, had to get the force going behind me. I wanted Luke to protect me from the dark side of the internet. I wanted some good force spirit. I wanted the gaming gods to look down. I got my hat going, got Los Santos, GTA 5, but this video is about the impressions that I saw. It's a couple of days later. It's marinated on what's happening and the things that we saw. We're going to talk about Microsoft. I'm going to try to get through this quicker than I have in my previous videos. One of these days, I'm going to put them up. Like if I actually get y'all going, you'll be like, well, dang, what kind of it? You're going to see these beginning videos. And if nothing else, I'm having fun. I'm laughing at myself. I'm seeing if I can get my eyes open. I'm a little tired. But anyway, we're going to get right into it. E3 2019 Microsoft review. I want to be fair to Microsoft. First off, I purchased I think it was 2001 when the first Xbox came out. I was a purchaser of that. When the Xbox 360 came out, I think that was like 2005, I was a purchaser of that. I had a red ring of death, and that experience sort of soured my motivation for Microsoft. So this current generation, I have been a Nintendo Switch player, and I have been a PS4 player. PS4 Pro right back there. I think you can see it. You see one of my controllers. So let's just get into it. I don't want to take up too long. I know that these videos, I could talk about games all day. I don't want to just repeat myself and everything. And even though it's been a few days later, I know the guys want to give instant feedback on what they saw. I wasn't there Wednesday. I wasn't there either for the E3 2019. There was some good, there was some bad. I don't even want to say, I don't think there was a lot of ugly. I don't think there was anything that went too bad. I know that there's some controversy with Cyberpunk right now. We'll probably do a separate video for that. And I'm not necessarily the greatest. Some of the issues that have been brought up are not necessarily something that I can say is in my wheelhouse, but there are some things that can be touched on and looked at, and we'll probably have a separate video about Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to have a video about what wasn't there. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with Splinter Cell. I don't know what is going on. Like there hasn't been a Splinter Cell this generation, so there are things that were missing that may not have necessarily been about Microsoft, but we will do something with Ubi, we'll do something with Bethesda, we'll talk about Nintendo in some later videos. But for today's What About Wednesday, what about Microsoft? And there were some good things for Microsoft. I want to say that I am hopeful for the project, what is it, oh my goodness, I'm losing Project Scarlet. I am hopeful that turns out to be mind-blowingly awesome. I'm hope that they have, with the recent acquisitions, and let's face it, Microsoft has been on game studio buy-in spree. I think that they realized that they spent so much time and effort and energy on the hardware that if you don't have software to go with it, if you don't have some exclusive games, no one is going to be playing your hardware or in a comparative sense. I think that everyone could pretty much say that Sony has pretty much dominated the console battle this generation. Nintendo's on its own. Like, I don't even consider Nintendo part of that fight anymore. Like, Nintendo is Nintendo, and they are almost, it's almost, they're just in a realm of their own. I know it's all video games, but y'all know what I mean. Nintendo is on its own. So looking at Microsoft, the one thing I'll say that was disappointing about Microsoft is that they had an opportunity at E3 2019 to just really blow everyone away, to really pump out a lot of information and awesomeness. Their main competitor was not at the conference. And in that regard, I do think that they missed step. I think that they could have done more. I think that they could have connected with a lot of gamers and users in a way that they didn't, simply because they almost had the show to themselves. And not to say that there weren't other gaming companies, not to say that Nintendo wasn't there and there weren't other presentations, but as far as the console battle between those two guys, I was looking, as someone who has not adopted the new generation of Xboxes, I think they missed their opportunity to really convince me to go out and spend my money. Basically, and now at this late juncture, because the new systems are about to be coming out, I don't even know if they convinced me to go out and get Project Scarlet. Granted, I'm also being fair. They may be saving something, and I think Sony is doing that. I think that a lot of people, even the game developers, because the new generation is coming up, it looks like it was a little bit more subdued. That's why I said I don't think there was any ugly about E3. I don't think that there was anything super bad about it. It just felt like a regular vanilla type conference. Hold on. For every gaming company, I'm putting my hat in the ring. Y'all have got to stop letting your creative directors get up there in their little t-shirts and sweaters and dad jeans and just, like, come on, like, get me excited. They don't do a great job of doing that. I'm not saying they're not great creative directors. I'm not saying they can't develop some great games, that they don't know the technical aspects and all that type of stuff. They are more than capable in ways that I am not. So I'm not trying to take away from them or just poo-poo all over them. But as far as presenters, as far as getting the crowd hype, no. Absolutely not. Did some better stuff. But anyway, back to specifically about Microsoft. I just thought they were going to give us more. I thought there was going to be some more gameplay. And I know that with all the recent acquisitions, they can't have a whole lot of stuff ready to show yet. They do have a whole nother E3 2020 to be able to convince guys. I think that Scarlet is supposed to be coming out next 2020 Christmas or, holiday season, something like that. So I do get that they have a whole another year or another presentation. They've got PAX West and all that type of stuff to be able to convince us, to be able to show some more stuff, to be able to build some more hype. But as far as 2019 specifically, it did feel subdued. It didn't feel like they took the opportunity to knock it out of the park. And that's the real honest truth. So that's where I was with that one. Let me talk about the wariness I have with Project Scarlet. It's not even so much, I'm sure it'll be a step forward. I'm sure that there are technical specs that some engineer somewhere could break down in a better way than I can. I'm more about how does it look? How fun is the game? Is it fun? Hence the name. Is it fun? And is it going to be something to convince me to play? If it is not just about the console, and I need to do some more research on this one, but they did say that they're going to be making most of their games available on PC, or all of their games available on PC. So if that's the case, as someone who has not adopted Xbox One X, what is going to compel me to get Project Scarlet? Because if it's a matter of playing on PC, even though I'm primarily a console gamer, I have a PC that is more than capable of playing next generation games. So if you're going to release it on PC, I don't have a reason to really go out and get a version of Project Scarlet. The other thing is how many versions are there going to be? What are the price points? Besides telling me the technical specs and capabilities, give me something concrete so that I know what I'm getting into and what you're going to be expecting from me as the consumer for this product. That was not there. That was lacking. Even some of the games. Well, no, I think Ori Will of the Wisp had some gameplay. But every game seemed to be a cinematic trailer. Well, I don't trust those anymore. Y'all always make cool cinematic trailers. There's always some cinematic trailer that looks super awesome, but that's not the gameplay. That's not what you're going to be playing when you sit down, turn it on, and you're trying to get other guys or whatever. You know, if it's a multiplayer game, you're trying to kill other players. If it's a sports game and this, that, the third. If it's racing, you know, Forza Lego looks cool, but I don't know if that moves me enough to go get that. I don't know if they presented anything that really made me even Halo Infinite. I was a Halo Combat Evolve, you know, blew me away. But is 343 going to get the story right? Is 343 going to have a compelling story to make me care, or is it all just nostalgia? Because basically Master Chief at this point is just, oh, he's Master Chief, and so I'd love to play it, and I know what it's going to be, but is it enough that the story is going to be compelling and well written enough to make me go out and spend money on your Project Scarlet? What is it going to look like? Is there ray tracing going to be on? I mean, you know, what exactly is going to make it stand out? And I think that's where they missed the boat. I think that's where instead of all these videos about specs, instead of the cinematic trailers, you just wanted to see something, and they didn't necessarily give that. I'm being fair. Subdued conference. Nothing was super ugly. They've got another year to turn in some stuff. They've got another E3 coming up before they are releasing that. So I'm being fair about it, but this E3 was a little down. I will say this: what is good about Xbox? The Elite Controller 2 makes me jealous. It makes me jealous in comparison to this, and that one back there in comparison to this. And I do have a Wii Pro controller somewhere, but it makes me jealous. I wish that PlayStation did something through Sony that created better controllers. Not to say that the model, like I love the size of this, but ever since the original, the R1 and R2s, they broke. I had to get those replaced because the plastic pieces broke off, and you know I couldn't get that little feel, couldn't get that feel. Even on this one, which is a newer controller that I got, this D button doesn't work. I've opened it up, I've got the little clips, cleaned it out and everything. So when I saw the Elite Controller 2, even when I saw the first one, the Elite Controller just looks like it's a ton of fun to hold, ton of fun to play with. It looks like it has some responsiveness and it just looks like an awesomely good controller. I could be completely wrong, but it looks wonderful. It makes me jealous, and if there was a game that really is out there, I would get an Xbox for that controller if they had a game like that. Like Crackdown 3 did not move my meter. The cinematic trailers did not move my meter. The one game that they had coming out was Scalebound, and I was super excited about Scalebound, and they canceled that. Can we get Scalebound put back onto the game, Microsoft? Like, can we get that put back? That was looking so awesome. There might be more stuff behind the scenes that I don't know about, But that was the game that was really like, okay, I'll go buy an Xbox One S for this. But no, they canceled that one. I think the thing that also gets me is I don't know how many versions they're going to have. I don't know the price points. Right now, I think that Xbox One X has like 18 different versions that you could have purchased. I know they've got the all digital one. I know they've got the Xbox One X. They got the Xbox One, and then they had several custom, or exclusive, whether it was a Forza exclusive or a Gears of War exclusive. I think they had the Project Scorpio theme, Xbox One X. So they've had a lot of those themes, and not to say that PlayStation doesn't, or I know that that's part of the hardware culture, and they're going to have different ones. But how many different ones are they going to have for Project Scorpio? Because if you're going to have something exclusive, like a Halo exclusive in 3 months after I buy the first version of Scarlet, I'm going to be disappointed. I want to see all of those versions so I can sort of choose from it. I'm sorry, I did skip. They also have customization from Xbox on their controllers. I have seen some of the most pretty color scheme designs on like Reddit, and some of those gaming boards and Xbox channels where it's like, dang, that controller's fly. Like I wish that Sony had something offered like that, in a comparative sense. And I actually wish they had an Elite controller yeah, I do. So Microsoft is winning on that one. They've got hardware, and I know that the 360 debacle with the Red Ring of Death is why they focus so much on the hardware. I know that they had a knee-jerk reaction and just said we can't let this happen again. We need to make sure that we have great hardware, but they did neglect software, and the E3 presentation did sort of, I think that they have great ideas and they've acquired all these studios, but they have not. They don't have, they probably haven't had enough time to really get a lot of stuff put together. They haven't had a lot of time to actually, develop the games. And so I think that they are refocusing their efforts on the software. But on an overall, I'm going to give it, simply because of the Keanu Reeves 2077 moment, I'm going to give them a B. It probably could be like a B minus maybe, but I'd say it's like a B. And so I guess what about Microsoft? Well, I think that's the same thing. What about it? I'm waiting for more information. I think there are a lot of gamers, unless you are just a Microsoft Xbox fanboy, I think you know where I'm coming from. I think a lot of us probably feel the same way. I'm not trying to poo-poo on them. I'm not trying to say that it was just the worst conference. I do believe that they had an opportunity to make more of it, considering that the main competition was gone. That's the difference next year. Because Sony didn't show up this year, you know that everyone's going to be looking out for what they're doing next year. You know that they're going to be looking at all of that hardware and software, and so to get a jump on your competition who has dominated the console market this generation, I think that's where they failed. It's not so much that the presentations were bad. It's not so much that the conference was bad. It's that they had an opportunity to do it without their main competition, and it did feel like they dropped the ball a little bit. It did feel like they could have done more, and so that's where we are on that one. I hope this was a little bit quicker. Like I said, we're going to get better at it. I don't want to do a script, guys. I just want you to know that I like freestyling. So if I run my words, if it's too extra, leave it down below. Leave me some constructive criticism. I'm going to get better. We're going to grow this channel. Eventually, we're going to have t-shirts and merchandise and sponsorship. But I can only do it with you guys. I can only do it with your visions, your views. So please, I don't like to say it all the time, but subscribe. Check me out. There's not going to be a lot of... Matter of fact, I know between the first video and now, there's been a little bit of space. I apologize for that. But when I looked at that first one, I wanted it to feel better. I wanted to present better. If the microphone is a little off, like I said, I'm working on settings. I'm going to try to get better, but that's what this channel is. It's about hope. It's about looking out for each other. It's about caring about each other. It's about chasing a dream, and that's my dream. I hope that next year at E3 2020, I'm not just sitting here talking about it. I hope I'm there. I hope that we are able to grow the channel and talk about Is It Fun, talk about gaming. And so that's what this is about, man. I hope it was good for you. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was awesome. Oh, this is a hell of a segue. But one of the things we're going to do here is, like I said, looking out for each other. If you are feeling down, if you are having a hard day, feel free to talk to me in the comments. I'm going to be checking all of them. I'm going to be looking at all of them. I'm going to be pumping out some stuff on Instagram. I'm going to be pumping some stuff out on Twitter, Facebook. We're going to create a whole page. So subscribe and do all that. And this is a sort of crazy segue, but if you're feeling down, and if you don't know where to turn, if you don't know what's going on, call 1-800-273-8255. The number is 1-800-273-8255. That is the suicide prevention hotline. I know that's a little bit of a downer talking about Microsoft and all that, but a lot of us, and even if you're not quite in that place, if you just need some help, that may be a good starting point. I know I've been depressed before and had issues before, and thankfully I had people in my life that I could reach out to and talk to. But my point is that I'd rather you be here looking at these videos, gaming and playing. The world is better with you than without you. So if you're feeling down, I know it's a crazy segue in a gaming channel to get something like that, but we got to look out for each other a lot better than we're doing currently. If you look at my first video, I told you we're going to be transparent. We're going to talk about games all the time, but more we're going to look out for each other in this community. We're going to try to be positive more so than negative. But that's what it is. We're going to end this video by saying Microsoft gets a B- for their conference, for all the reasons we just went over. Call that number if you're having a little issue. Peace and blessings. I will see y'all on the next one. I'm out.